All right, let's play 20 questions, shall we?
All right, let's play.
What are you going to think of? You can't say it out loud, though, because it's going to hear it.
No, it can't hear us.
It can.
And then the listeners won't know.
Yeah, but our phones listen to us all the time, so why wouldn't this orb from probably 2006?
Yeah, it didn't have the technology wasn't there yet.
All right, pick something. What are you going to pick? I'll hide it so maybe it can't hear.
Apple.
One, that's too easy. Two, I don't know if people get the reference.
Yeah, it's from Dennis the Menace.
The movie.
What you eating there, sport?
With Christopher Lloyd.
Apple.
What a performance. Really one of his best.
Yeah.
I feel like we've talked about this before. Now we're repeating.
Yeah, we have.
We're repeating material on our show, and in such an
That
obscure
and Uncle Fester.
and an obscure topic, bringing up Christopher Lloyd's performance in the Dennis the Menace movie. All right, and it's
underrated movie. Apple.
It's gonna get an apple. It's going to.
No, it won't.
All right, ready?
How about a Granny Smith apple?
No, it's not going to get that specific.
Why not?
But it's going to get an apple. That's
all right. Then let's choose a different one. Let's say
a lamp post.
A lamp post.
Yes.
Okay. All right. A lamp post.
Ready?
Ready.
Is it vegetable? No. Mineral? Other. Question number 2. Do you hold it when you use it? No.
No.
All right, I'll let you answer so you're not completely locked out of this lead-in segment that's boring. Does it make a sound?
No.
Sometimes.
Oh, buzzes. Okay,
well, the old ones. Now the LED ones don't buzz. See, look, this game is outdated.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Say yes. Sometimes. Okay, good. Perfect.
Oh, I put unknown. Oops. Oh. Was it used over 100 years ago?
Yes.
When was the first lamppost?
No, it was. They were lighting lampposts with like fire. There was a guy that walked around and lit them over. Yes, for sure.
First lamppost. I mean, yes, you're right. They had the gas ones and but
they had them in like in the Wild West.
The first electric one.
We're not talking about an electric one.
The electric candle. Or the Jablakachikov candle, or the Jawaga, is developed by a Russian Pavel Yablakov. I know. It's like I don't even take the time to learn someone's name or pronounce it correctly. I don't have the respect, and I make fun of a Russian last name. 1875, anyway. So yes.
Yes. Listen, you could have just listened to me.
I did. I was curious about the electric.
Okay.
Is it hard?
Yes. It sounded so excited.
Can you hold it?
No.
Technically.
No.
You could cradle it. I said no. You're a smart one. It's mocking us.
Uh-huh.
Can you buy it at a store? Oh,
no.
Boy. But you can.
You could buy a lamp post. Yeah, maybe at like Home Depot.
You could buy one for your front yard.
Yep. Okay.
That has one of those flickering light bulbs that looks like fire.
Yeah, those are really popular.
I'm going to say sometimes. Could it be found in a class? I hate these questions. I'm sure we're overthinking them. The answer should be no, but it could be. If
we'd only picked Apple.
It could be found in a. If we picked Apple, they would say, I don't need the rest of the questions. I know right now, Apple. Found in a classroom.
Yeah, and then our listeners would be so grateful that this was over.
They love this.
Okay.
Would you find it on a farm? God.
No.
Farmers.
No.
Okay, no. Are we really overthinking these questions?
Yes. You are. Not we. You.
Does it help accomplish tasks?
Yes. I can't see.
Is seeing at night a task?
I need to walk to somewhere.
Sorry, I keep hitting the microphone with the orb because I'm trying to hold it close so people can hear the noises.
Yes, you can hear it.
Can you walk on it? No.
No. Right. Well, I mean, if it was on the ground.
Yeah, well, you could. Then I would make that argument. Is it
the answer's no.
Is it outside?
Yes. Oh, if they say lamppost, I'm going to freak out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can it be stolen?
No. Who steals a lamppost?
But it could be stolen. Somebody could steal it.
Yeah. I guess you could have said unknown.
Is it worth a lot of money? I mean,
sometimes.
It could be expensive. I don't think it's worth anything.
Well, if something is expensive, isn't it inherently worth something?
Well, it doesn't hold its value.
No, okay. No, I'm overthinking.
I said no.
All right.
I can read you like a book.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We're only at question 15.
Okay, 5 more. Let's go.
Is it smooth? I don't know. Unknown.
Unknown. Sometimes, I guess. No, it's not.
Parts of it?
Some parts of it, yeah.
Can it be washed? Oh. Yes, anything can be washed. Anything can be washed.
Yeah.
You can wash every item in the universe.
What can't be washed?
You could wash
Something in
Jupiter.
water?
If you had a big enough sponge, you could wash Jupiter.
Yeah. Oh, no, you can't wash. No, you can't. You cannot wash Jupiter.
One, because it's gas? You're saying that the molecules...
No, but even if you had a large... That doesn't exist, so no. But okay.
Can it be washed? What are we saying?
Unknown? Yeah. Or yes. Listen, when it gets like graffiti on it, I bet they spray like hard water on it or something.
Was it invented?
Yes.
All right, we're at question 18. We're almost there. I promise everyone who's listening. We're almost there.
All right.
Is it made of metal?
Yes.
Yes. But what about the wood post? If we're talking about the old ones.
Oh my God.
You're getting very excited about this.
Well, if it comes out as, if they say it, I'm going to freak out.
Does it use electricity?
Yes!
Sometimes. Or are we doing an electric one now? Because your whole argument before was, no, they existed before electricity.
Yeah.
All right, I'll say yes.
Well, because they do.
Not
always, but they do.
Question 20. Oh my God. Is it used in travel?
Yes. Yes.
I feel like if we say yes here, it's going to say headlight. But I'll say...
I mean, it is used in travel.
I am thinking...
Oh my God. I'm so
you win. Ha ha, just joking, all capital letters. It's a lamppost.
Shut up! Oh
Can you read that?
Oh my God.
I mean, look, this game exists because if you won, quote won, and it never got it right, nobody would want to play it.
Wow.
This is what that means.
Man, I am the right audience for that thing.
It's still interesting.
That was amazing. Oh my God, tell it it's right.
I told it it's right.
Did it say like, I'm better than you?
It probably does mock you again.
Oh my God. I know it's probably some simple program that someone made and it's really easy. It's just, but it's the same kind of thing, you know, where someone can tell you about like your dead relative and what they said to you. It's probably not real, but it feels so good.
Yeah, those people will ask you leading questions though, and you give up. They do.
But I mean,
you give up information not even knowing it. And they also have someone under the table who like steals your wallet and looks through it.
Welcome to One Top. Sorry. You were really delayed, and so I got really thrown off about when we started. Okay, do it again.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
My name is Greg Russ.
Hello.
Hello. It is your week, Autumn, and I will refrain from criticizing whatever it is you would like to talk about this week.
Thank you for not doing that. I want to talk about eating meat because...
Wait. Really?
Already with the...
Wait. I think that's a great topic. Please explain to me a little more why this is your topic of choice for the week. This is something, just to give everyone background information.
Oh my God, you're just like Eric.
This
because
is-
I was in the middle of saying why, and then you stopped me to set up the why.
Hey, Autumn, here's a secret.
Uh-huh.
That was the point. It was I set it up so I could do
Oh.
this thing. You know, it was this whole ploy that I had set up.
But I didn't know.
Anyway, this is a topic. I just want to give people some background. You've been throwing this out there for weeks, maybe months. And, you know, I know that I criticize your topics. I'm a topic snob. The guy who brought you Greg Likes Trains.
And socks.
Two of the best episodes of the podcast over the past almost 2 years at this point. And, you know, a lot of times you do bring up topics, and I say, nah. And I think part of it is, you know, the lack of trust on my part. This is my problem. This is not you. A little lack of trust that you could take the topic and make something of it. It's an idea at first, and then you got to try to find a thread that moves us throughout the show. So it's not just a collection of random thoughts. And I hear something like eating meat. And I feel as though there was a time you were sitting at the kitchen table, chewing on some sort of meat product, and thought, this is strange. And that's the extent of it. And then you're bringing it to the show, and then we've got nothing. Then we're stuck. Again, this isn't fair to you. I'm not saying this is what you'd actually do. We've done, again, almost 2 years of shows.
Yeah, we could be halfway into the topic by now.
And this week's topic is trust. I have a lack of, not just you, everyone. I don't trust people in general.
Well,
so I apologize.
Get over it, because we've been doing it for, like you said, almost 2 years.
And, you know, I think about where that comes from, and I go back to maybe when I was 4 years old.
Oh my God.
Okay. So let's get into your topic. Set it up.
Is this like Dicks? This is like the Dick episode? You're like, no.
Well, the
We're not gonna talk
Dicks
about that.
episode that somebody said was embarrassing, and because we talked about my mental illness.
Yeah.
Sure. You want to call it a mental illness, I won't necessarily argue that. There's a whole list, a range of mental illnesses out there. I was already in a mood that day, and I did feel like with Dicks, you did jump around, and I felt it was all crumbling.
Well, I
in.
wasn't getting any support from you.
Now you know what Greg Likes Trains was like.
Oh.
Well,
guess what? I didn't stop in the middle of it and be like, this topic is, I can't do this.
You didn't freak out.
Yeah.
We're going to bring Dicks back. It's going to happen. A fully dedicated Dicks episode with a dedicated Greg.
Okay.
And we'll be dedicated to that topic.
All right.
So go for it. Set it up. I'm sitting back. I'm listening.
All right. I want to talk
about...
I
do quickly, though. It probably was when I was 4.5 that I lost my trust in humanity.
Yeah.
Okay. But we'll get into that a different time. I'm back, leaning back in the chair.
Okay.
If I did it one more time, would that be funny? Or is it played out at this point?
You're doing it right now. This is it.
Okay, go. Okay.
What I wanted to know was, what stops people from eating certain things? So, you know, I eat meat, and I'll eat beef. I'll eat a cow, but I won't eat a horse. And I know we've talked about eating a horse, and from IKEA.
You have eaten horse. That's the thing. You have. It's weird that eating horse has now come up twice, 2 weeks in a row, and it's never come up on the show, I think, previously. Maybe at some point. But that delicious lean muscle meat with yellow fat, the yellow marbling.
Ew, I hate
delicious.
that yellow is the word to describe the fat, and that's supposed to be peeling. That sounds so gross.
Delicious workhorse stallion Mustang meat.
But so, yeah, okay, maybe I have ingested horse. Who knows? Yeah, I can't know. But it's not like I go to my, meat section of the grocery store looking for horse. And we'll eat, you'll eat a shrimp. But you won't eat a bug. I know that there are countries where they do eat bugs, but that's my point. we have decided here for some reason we don't eat bugs. But guess what a shrimp is? Is an ocean bug.
It's relatively arbitrary sometimes. I feel like a shrimp, for example. Although I didn't eat shrimp when I was a kid. If you're fed things when you're a kid, and then when you really start thinking, when you gain the ability to think a little more critically, if it's something you've already been eating, you're probably more inclined to continue to eat it. A shrimp is a gross, disgusting creature. As you said, it is a bug. It's not any different than eating a beetle.
All the shelled animals in the ocean, right? Aren't they really just bugs?
But I think the difference, there is a meat that you can remove from a shrimp's tail. Like some people do the shrimp tempura and they eat the whole head. I won't do that.
Yeah.
Now, there is some meat. A beetle, you're not pulling out meat from its tail.
Yeah, what are you eating? What's the best part about eating like a grasshopper? Is it just the seasoning on the outside and that it's crunchy?
I mean,
it's like a chip at that point?
I assume as far as taste goes, yes. It's got protein as far as nutrition goes on that front. That's why I think people would eat bugs because they're there. And maybe they didn't have other options. I don't know if it's really a first choice. The distinction with the shrimp for me, which again is something I didn't eat as a kid, and then I got older, and one day I think I was drunk on a cruise ship, and I said, yeah, I'll try it. Worst place probably to try a shrimp too, but I did.
Oh yeah.
And it was fine. And now I actually like shrimp, and I eat shrimp, and I eat all the gross creatures of the sea, but I won't eat fish.
I know, you're crazy.
Fish is disgusting.
Nope.
I know that's a broad statement. There are many types of fish with different taste profiles and flakiness, and it all makes me vomit. But the moment it touches my tongue, there's a gag reflex, and the vomit starts to work its way up my esophagus as if it were a spillway. And this swordfish is so meaty, it's like a steak. That may be so, but in my head, and this is something we can explore too. Maybe it is just mental. Maybe I've decided I don't like fish.
It's got to be it's got to be mental, because if you're saying that an oyster does not induce a gag reflex, what's the point of an oyster?
I will tell you.
Nobody chews on an oyster. Everybody just puts Tabasco on it, and you just like slurp it down, and you just swallow like a piece of snot. I don't understand what the point is.
That's how I eat American cheese outside of the Tabasco sauce. Chewing American cheese, it is disgusting. So if I eat American cheese, and this is Kraft Singles, which I have not had in I don't know how many years, but a Boar's Head white American slice of cheese, which by the way, once I was at the grocery store and I was getting American cheese, and I said, I'd like a pound of white American cheese, please. And then from that point on, I thought I can't phrase it that way. So I always say, I'd like a pound of Boar's Head American cheese, white, please. Because I didn't like the term white American, and the lady behind the counter was an African American lady, so she didn't care.
So she reached out to you and she held your hand and she said, "Thank you."
She said, "You offend me with your white."
No, I'm saying after you changed it. No, she recognized it and she was like, "Thank you."
Oh yeah, after.
On behalf of me and my people.
Yes, you're so mindful. Thank you.
Yeah.
If anything, the fact that white American cheese, it's like the worst kind of cheese, American cheese. So,
white American is like half a notch above Kraft Singles.
Yeah, we're not saying white. What's the one with the G and the Y that I can't pronounce? Gruyere. Gruyere. I don't know what it is. See, it's so fancy. I can't even know the correct pronunciation of it.
Yeah.
So that's a little different if you're ordering it. But, white American is the lowest.
What would you say if you wanted to order that? What if you loved Gruyere?
I wouldn't order it. I would just avoid ordering it because I don't know how to. I would if I could point at it, I would point. And that's what I do on menus. I feel like this is on topic. This show's not really about eating meat. Let's just set this up. It's just about food choices. I don't know what the hell we're going to call the episode, but it seems like that's what you want to talk about. Why people eat certain things, why they don't.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No.
But it could have to do more with just food in general. But with a menu, I would point if I did this here, please.
Yeah.
People, because this is a podcast, don't see me holding my hand up and as if it's the menu I'm pointing. This here, that's what I'd like. But if I couldn't pronounce it, I would just avoid it altogether. And who knows what I'm missing out on because of that. And quite frankly, the shame I would feel, it's fine. I don't care what I'm missing.
It's a hard
out on.
one.
So just going back to the white American cheese, chewing it is absolutely disgusting. So if I'm eating a piece plain, I break off pieces and I just kind of swallow it whole like an oyster. And
Does it melt a bit in your mouth? Because it has a really low melting point.
I guess maybe if you held it there long enough. That's
No,
something.
so you don't let it melt in your mouth long enough to just become a goo.
No.
Okay, you just swallow the little pieces.
I think
let your
there's a-
stomach do the melting.
I think there's a place for American cheese.
What's your poop look like after that?
I don't. If I'm not just eating American cheese, I don't know. You want
That's
me
what
to?
you just talked about.
You want me to just? I know, but I'm eating it. What I'm saying is, I eat other things. If I'm eating American cheese plain, but I'm not just sitting there. That's the only thing I had for the past 3 days. If you want me to do that experiment and only eat American cheese for 3 days, then I'll tell you what my poop looks like.
Okay.
If you're really
No,
care
I
to know.
appreciate. I'm not going to ask that of you, but I appreciate your dedication.
It looks like the wax outside of a Baby Bell. That's what it looks like at that point.
Oh yeah.
You can never eat a Baby Bell the same way. See,
Ugh, Baby Bell's gross.
getting on topic, I think planting ideas like this in people's minds possibly could ruin food for them also. So now if people associate the wax on the outside of a Baby Bell with the shit of a person who's eaten nothing but American cheese, they may never again eat a Baby Bell in their life.
You know, I don't think that you can ruin the experience of opening a Baby Bell. I think that that's too good.
That is satisfying, but maybe at some point in your life you get enough money where you buy the Baby Bells just to open them and you discard the inside.
Ooh, what a life. I mean, honestly, one of the best things about American like craft singles is just opening that package. That like sound it makes and how is it like sealed and how thin that plastic is.
That wasteful plastic because
it's the thinnest amount of plastic I think that ever existed.
and it has to be there, else it would become one block of goo.
Yeah.
And so they have to
It
keep
feels like if you held the plastic in your between your finger and your thumb for long enough, it would just melt through. You know what I mean? And it would just become part of you.
Here's the secret with the plastic. It's also cheese. It's also American cheese. It's the same exact product.
Yeah.
People just don't know.
What you're supposed to do, it's almost like after you get a rotisserie chicken and you can keep the bones and you make a stock with it the next day. What you do is you keep all the plastic from your American cheese and you put that in a pot and you let that boil down. And then you get like a handful of sliced American cheese after that. It like melts down into a goo and then you can form it and then cut it.
And you throw it on top of your burgers that have been on the
Yeah.
George Foreman. So you were saying oysters. I will state I don't eat oysters. I
I thought you eat oysters.
No, I don't.
Clams?
I'll eat clams, yes. I'll eat
Weird.
mussels. The other bivalves and shellfish.
Yeah.
The gross creatures of the sea, for whatever reason, I have decided. And these are the ones you quite often do see the bodies of. You know, when we think about eating other meats, such as beef or chicken, a rotisserie chicken quite often verges on, I don't know, because I'm ripping apart the carcass. And
yeah.
if
And you're like unlocking their legs from their socket to get that leg off of there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. And if you think about that too much, I could see myself crossing a line, never being able to go back to eating chicken. For whatever reason, a crab, when you're ripping apart its whole body to get very little payoff, whatever.
breaking its leg in half so
Yeah.
you can get the meat out in one whole thing and you feel so satisfied.
Lobster tail, cracking it, slicing
Yeah.
its head open before
Let's
you...
boil this alive. Or the more humane thing, just stab it right in the brain
Yeah.
before you throw it in a pot.
That's what you should be doing. You have some mercy on this
Yeah.
giant bug that you're about to
Giant
consume.
bug.
So
I feel like if a beetle could get as big as some lobster could get, I bet you there's plenty of meat in that beetle.
I do think about bugs getting as big as lobsters or dogs or cats or roaches. And think about a roach being the size of a dog. Could you imagine how
They probably were in like whatever period had the most oxygen and made the dinosaurs so big. They probably, right? Because weren't dragonflies gigantic, like the size of cars?
I know they were bigger. I can't
Yeah.
confirm that comparison of scale.
Was it the Jurassic period?
Well, the Jurassic period, the Cretaceous period, the Triassic period, they were separated. What is that thing that people say the Stegosaurus and the T-Rex were further apart than the T-Rex and humans?
Yeah.
Something like that. So, you know,
Nope. All dinosaurs lived at the same time. And they all died at once. That's how it worked.
The giant cockroach, though, the size of a cat or a small dog, they're already so fast. These things would be consuming humans, I assume.
Nah, they couldn't run that fast anymore. They'd be too big.
You're probably right. I like to think in this creepy fantasy, this scary alternate universe, that they're able to their speed scales and flexes with their size, so they just get even faster. But if they were that big, there's certainly some kind of flesh in there, and maybe people would catch them and eat them.
Yeah, they would.
As far as the fish goes, if you're trying to explore why, I think it's because I ate some fish and I thought it tasted like fish. It was too fishy. It was gross. And maybe I tried it again, but then it just got applied across the board. So it was based in something. There are a couple parts of this question, if we're going to break it down, why people eat the things they do and they choose not to eat other things. I think the first thing is actually the taste. I have no problem, we've established, I'm eating these other gross creatures, with a fish being a fish. It being a fish is not a problem with me. It's the taste. I don't like the taste, and I've just applied that across the board. Then it became a mental thing, and I'm never going back.
To me, I'm not thinking about just taste. I'm thinking about sort of subconsciously entire groups, like extremely large regions of people have decided what is appropriate to eat and what isn't.
Well, something
not for religious reasons or something, like people don't eat beef because of religion or something, but yeah, why, I'm going to fry up some pig. I'm going to take this pig skin. I'm going to fry it up. That's totally fine. I would never do that to a cat.
Exactly. I was going to say the horse thing, because a horse is a friend, especially when people rode horses for transportation and they were work animals.
Yeah, there was bond.
They're friends. There's the dog, the pup is your buddy. The cat is your pal. So, it's like going down the street and murdering your best friend and eating that person. I think that's the reason people don't tend to eat horses. We just view them differently. But if someone gave you some meat and you didn't know what it was, and you ate it and you enjoyed it, and then, I'm not saying you would change. If you found out it was horse, for example, or dog, you probably still wouldn't eat it again. But you would also know at that point that you liked it, and maybe you'd be a little more inclined. I think there's a mental block that if someone put horse or dog in front of you and said this is what it is, you wouldn't eat it on that merit alone.
Well, I mean, more exotic animals aren't pets, but we still aren't clamoring to eat those. Why have we domesticated a cow to be become food, but we haven't domesticated something else? Like, I don't know, even something, I know it's small, but like squirrels.
People eat squirrels.
Yeah, but it's because they like shoot it and then they eat it and then they make a hat out of its skin or something.
It's there. Yeah, it was a food source. And I think that more people, a squirrel is a strange example because a lot of people probably do eat squirrels more than you think. So it's not so out there. Yeah.
In the country.
And there are people who enjoy it. Who knows what a squirrel tastes like? It probably doesn't taste. It tastes like a rabbit, which they say tastes like chicken. So ultimately, I don't have I had rabbit? I think I probably have. Does it taste?
I don't know if I have.
Oh wait, no. It's frog legs that people say taste like chicken. What do they say rabbit tastes like?
I think that it's a dark meat, right? And it's extremely lean because you can starve. You can get like protein starvation by just eating rabbits because you have to eat like their brains and their eyeballs and stuff because that's like where the only fat is.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I completely fucked that one up. It was frog legs. I don't know why I thought rabbit.
What about turtles?
Turtle soup. Listen,
we have decided, like, you cannot easily find turtle here. There's a place somewhere, probably China, probably places where they have those markets, there that where maybe it's more of a depressed quote unquote sort of thing where they don't. Well, all right. I don't mean to dig myself into a hole. What I mean is,
Yeah, you snob, you American piece of shit, closed-minded, narrow-minded, ignorant fool.
what I mean to say is it's a maybe the place where they're getting the food to sell to you is not coming from the same place that your grocery store is getting food. And so the place where your grocery store is getting food isn't going to have something like turtle, whereas a more localized source may have somebody who like breeds turtles to sell for cooking. Why have we as Americans decided that like turtle is not something on the menu? Turtle is something exotic.
Well, at some point, turtle was a food that Americans ate quite often. They loved turtle.
Really?
Yes, and turtle soup was a thing that was here. And, Shredder always wanted turtle soup in
Where'd it go?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Was that the turtle lobby, like trying to get themselves into that show?
Look at
getting kids to not want to eat turtles anymore?
The founding fathers, Autumn, were big fans. John Adams and George Washington both celebrated independence with hearty bowls of turtle stew.
Wow. I had no idea turtles' history in our country.
I'm trying to figure out why it fell out of favor.
Yeah.
Beyond the meat, a lot of the turtle's unusual taste comes from its shells, bones, and fat. Simmering the scraps produces a rich and gelatinous stock.
Ew.
That's why the soup has become the most famous preparation. People like that gelatinous stock.
Yeah.
So what did happen here? The beginning of the reptile's fall lies in its own popularity. Turtles are long-lived creatures that reproduce slowly, and demand for the animal pushed populations to the brink.
Okay.
So that seems to be part of the demise, and then two other things happened. Nearly all turtle soup recipes called for fortified wine. And then the prohibition coming into play.
So it was a victim.
Turtle soup went away partly because of prohibition, because
Wow.
you needed the fortified wine. And then shortly thereafter, Turtle suffered another image setback. Herbert Hoover, thank you, Hoover, for ruining this. His 1928 presidential campaign touted the slogan, "A chicken in every pot and a car in every garage." America entered the Great Depression, and those down on their luck found themselves with neither. In the South, the poorest turned to native gopher tortoise as a source of protein, calling their catch Hoover chicken. When peace and prosperity in America returned, the turtle remained the stigma of hard times.
Wow.
So there.
Man,
And it just went away.
that's really interesting.
And then it became a thing that we now no longer eat. Because, meaning if it were put in front of you, I'm not saying that people wouldn't try it. There are the experimental and open-minded eaters. Like even that dude who had a TV show, I'll eat anything. Okay, great. You're not as good as Shoe Nice, my friend. Shoe Nice eats everything and anything. Shoe Nice will eat shoe polish.
Yeah, why does he do that?
Because he just wants to be internet famous. And it didn't.
Why is his name Shoe Nice?
Don't know. It didn't really work. He doesn't have a big following. But turtle, for the most part, I think put in front of people, most people would probably recoil a bit. Like, nah, I'm not going to eat that. And
It's not on your list of proteins that you eat. And I think it's strange what we choose to eat and what we choose not to eat.
it's just,
And that it's so subjective depending on like where you grew up.
that's what it is.
And then
Again,
if you're a vegetarian and you say, well, I don't want to eat this thing because it was alive. I know that it's kind of splitting hairs, but your definition of alive, I mean, plants are alive.
well, I think it's the consciousness. A plant doesn't have the consciousness like an
But
animal
even people
does.
who are vegetarians will eat fish.
And
They're
do.
like, I'm a pescatarian. It's because they're idiots and like they're dumb and they don't know any better. So they're allowed to be eaten.
Well, I mean,
Where a chicken, genius.
it's a tough thing to talk to because neither of us is either of those things. I mean, a vegetarian to me makes more sense, or a vegan, than a pescatarian, because why do you eat the fish? I would be interested to know more about why that is in the yes category while other meat isn't.
We just decide what's dumb or what's cute.
Well, chickens
And if
are
it falls
not
into
cute.
dumb-
Chickens are dumb and not cute. They're ugly.
Right, but there must be some sort of spectrum where it falls in, right? And if it gets too close to cute, then we don't want to eat it. And if it gets the closer to dumb it gets, I guess the faster we'll consider it food.
I think part of the thing with pescatarians too is you brought up before, I don't know if it's in the show yet, but factory farming. And there are fish farms, for example. But I think there's something the way chickens have been genetically modified, pumped up to be much bigger than they are naturally, breaking their legs because they weigh so much. And the way, beef is raised, again, an animal that's much bigger than it used to be, pumped full of hormones, and it's also not good for the environment. And I think people who eat fish, it's more along those lines. So they're not so much in the camp of
eating something that's
alive,
more intelligent or something. But
yeah, there's probably someone out there who may do that. But I think that is the distinction of why.
Like, it's cleaner.
Yeah, than these factory farmed raised animals. But at that point, there are chickens who are free range chickens and grown a little bit more organically. And if they still choose not to eat those, I can't speak to it. So, everyone's got a reason. And I'm not going to try to assign those reasons if I don't know. I do think well, no, go ahead. I forgot what I was going to say.
I thought you were going to sneeze, so I was coming in.
No. It looked like it. I was really stressing my face because I felt the thought fleeting. It was leaving my brain.
And you were running for it.
I was trying to grab it, and that's why my face looked like I was going to sneeze.
Well, it always feels really intrusive. And I've unfollowed friends of friends who are vegans or vegetarians or whatever, because they post so many things. Like, they feel like it's their job to then save you from yourself, from eating animals. And they'll post these really horrific scenes of, animals either being abused or, some sort of highly edited version of factory farm.
Well, it is true. Look, those videos, even if they're highly edited, it's real footage. They're not the best places. And honestly, if you were there,
but they'll show a cow looking sad in the mud, and if you just turn the camera, 90 degrees the other way, it's like a sunny day. It's not in black and white.
Well,
they have green grass.
Sure,
they just happen to be standing in some mud.
And anyone can manipulate. They can manipulate it any way they want, and the other side could manipulate it, showing cows looking happy, just standing. I get what you're saying, but chicken farmers, for example, because they only want the females because they want eggs. They don't need a bunch of roosters. So the chicks are born, and if they're male, they just take a few because they want a few, and they put the rest in a plastic bag and stomp them to death and kill them.
No, they don't stomp them. They put gas in there. And
okay, great.
Yeah,
okay.
They don't stomp them to death.
I've see, I've fallen victim also to some of these. Yeah. Things, still gassing them. It's like you have zero right to live at this point because you're not useful to us. Well, what they do is,
I think that they also send them off to be tested and experimented, and I mean, they're dead, and then they go and dissect them and do things to them, check them out. Kind of useful, but still sad.
It does become a moral quest for some people. And look, if it moves them to the point where it really pains them to see animals killed and treated poorly, and they don't think people should be eating meat, I can't argue with that viewpoint, but I also do believe people should be able to make their own choices. And you believe that, and you believe in it strongly, but, demonizing other people who choose to eat meat is not really the way to go.
And I also feel like they're kind of disconnected from what the real world might actually be, especially nature, like us killing a bag of baby chicks sounds really harsh, but nature and how nature behaves is just as harsh. So what that actually is, what we're doing is really probably closest to what we are as natural human beings.
Well, you can argue where's the line in what's natural and what's not. Again, pumping chickens full of hormones so that they grow 5 times their intended
Right.
size, is that natural? You could state
Right,
just-
because we're natural, so we made it happen, and so it's not. Yeah,
but it's also not natural
right.
with a certain perspective on the issue.
You can just say period. It's actually not natural because it's not. I
it's-
understand what you're saying.
You know, so this is just a wide open debate and discussion, and people choose their own stances on it. And you know, on the flip side, people who go after vegetarians, like, oh yeah, you don't even eat meat. What's wrong with you? And then you get strange, derogatory names like sissy and other ones that start with P. That I'm trying to be respectful and not use that word
Sure.
anymore.
I don't know.
But-
I do feel some sort of. I have an aggressive reaction to someone who, I guess, has taken veganism or vegetarianism as their cause. But I probably would feel that way about anybody who takes, any number of things as a cause. It feels like intrusive and annoying.
Well,
Like I'm just minding my own business. I don't want to see a pig die in its own blood.
well, because it has an effect on you. Maybe it's gonna. Is there a fear that it'll push you away from eating?
No, because
pig?
I'm trying to look at my friends and see what they're up to. I'm like, "Da-da-da-da-da," and then something horrible. If I have no problem like pulling out the gizzard and the stuff out of a turkey, and like if there's a feather left, like a pin feather left on the chicken that you get, like like tying its legs back, like I'm fine. I don't care about like butchering something. Bring it. I don't care. I would like to know how to kill something in the wild and, break it down and eat it. And there's blood and I feel bad for it, but I respect it. Do you know what I mean? I'm fine with all that. But when you're putting it in my face in a forum that I was not seeking out, that's rude.
Well, you're just people are intruding on your life. Any cause,
Yeah.
anything people attach themselves to, and if it's something that they want to push because they believe deeply in, I think there is
Yeah.
a way to do it. And look, it's their Facebook page, and they're allowed to present what they want. That one, that's a tough one because they're just presenting it on their page, and I know that it may show up in your feed. For me,
That's true. It's not like you're right. I was treating it like it was at me.
For me,
because it was on my feed.
the problem comes in when people want to demonize or shame you for not getting on board with their thing. I think you present the information. Here's what I believe. Here's the information behind this. And then the other person gets to decide if that's something they want to jump on board with. And I have no problem with someone putting out there things that they believe in. But it goes too far. PETA throwing blood on people. Okay.
Yeah. That is
Who are you
annoying.
winning
Like,
over? Who's going to
Yeah.
look at that and say, yes?
Other PETA people. That's it. PETA's real messed up because they have actually a really decent message. But there's so much of the marketing and the trying to get news for it and like eyeballs on it and attention that make it insufferable.
I do think that it hurts them in the long run.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people you're really attracting with those kind of tactics.
And you're
that,
turning people away.
yeah, that applies to anything. If you're acting in the
Anything.
extreme,
Yeah.
I don't know how many people you're really winning over. Even if you believe that the only way to exist in your cause is in the extreme, if you want to recruit people, you have to play by the rules of the game. And the rules of the game are, most people are not. They're relatively moderate people.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't just throw that message at them. And if you want to recruit people to your side, the rules of the game, I'm sorry, you can say that people being moderate are idiots and that they should think about things a little more deeply and take harsher stances. But that's not the way it works. So that's a game that you made up. And if you want to recruit people, throwing blood on a bunch of people wearing fur, I don't know if that's the way to do it.
Well, this is a nice parallel to, what's happening with protesting and all of that. Like protesting can have a purpose. I know I'm not going to go into it too much. You're giving me the knock it off. But it can serve a purpose. But when those protests do get extreme, it turns off the people that may be interested because of the protests. You know what I mean? Like it's overstepped its intent, and then it just turns people off.
No, I agree with that. You know, that there are people that I agree with ideologically who would also look at me and say, "You're the enemy." It's like, okay,
Yeah.
what good are you doing? And I'm sorry I gave you that. I just,
That's all right.
As we continue this show and as we move into the election this Tuesday, I'm just trying to stay away from
Guys, oh my God, people
Political
could be
things.
listening to this right now, and it's already happened.
It probably has already happened. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna. It depends on when they're listening to it. It doesn't matter. It's not.
I'm just saying.
Also, putting timestamps on our shows so then they become outdated is, not the best way to go about
it's
it either.
fine. Listen, this isn't ABC, CBS, NBC. This is you and me talking on a podcast. People listening to us know us and they like us.
I know that.
And so they'll listen back and be like, "Oh, cool. This was like before the election. They didn't know yet." What, isn't it weird to think about a time when we didn't know this because now it's just so known?
Okay. Sure.
It's like time travel. It's the closest we're going to get to time travel.
No, it's not.
Besides the time moving
I
back.
think it's just like reading a newspaper from 1932.
All right, well, our show's over because Pete's awake.
No, the show's not over at this point. You can't just end.
Yeah.
We didn't come to any kind of conclusion on the show.
I think we did come to a conclusion.
No, because you also brought up consciousness and
Yeah.
maybe some people don't eat certain. You've checked out. I hear that
I'm
you've
listening.
checked out. I mean, you brought up the idea that people don't
Oh.
eat things
Hold
if.
That what?
Okay, we'll be back. And we're back.
All right.
You
Butts
just
are wiped.
You really
iPads are on.
You really just wanted to end the show.
Well, I thought it was all right. We had come to a little bit of a conclusion, but
I feel as though you
I
owe
guess.
people, listeners who've stuck with us a little more than that. It's like, oh, I gotta go. Done. That's
Wow.
all. That's all.
I have faith in the people that listen to us.
Yeah, they would.
You don't trust. Remember the beginning of the show? No trust.
I trust them.
Nope, obviously not. I trust them because I trust them to be like, "Ha ha, there's Pete. All right, she's got to go."
No,
that was a good show. It made me think about things.
I trust that they're a smart audience who demands quality. That's what I trust in.
Oh.
No, one of the things that I wanted to hit
now I'm
upon.
put in a position where I can't say that I don't trust them.
One of the things.
And I think they're dumb.
I know. I won the debate. It's over. It's okay. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. It's like playing chess. You didn't think ahead. You didn't think about your moves. And checkmate. One of the things.
Checkmate is the shittiest thing you can say to somebody. You're like, well, checkmate.
Is it?
Fuck you.
I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty shitty.
I agree. It's a shitty thing. And it's a pretentious thing.
Yeah. Sometimes, somebody gets the promotion, some people don't. Checkmate. I got the promotion.
It's because there's nothing else anyone can say, too.
Yeah.
Once
You're
they
like,
say it.
"Ugh." All right. Consciousness.
Well, yeah. There's an idea. You said, why do some people, they don't want to eat things that are alive, but plants are alive or whatever.
Yeah.
There's this idea of consciousness. But it goes a little farther if you get into, I forget what it's called. I think it's just like panpsychism or something, which is this.
Are you talking about like when plants are sung to, or like when water is treated to nice music, then it has a different pH and alkalinity than other water? And
No, not
plants
that.
grow
Well,
better?
it's an idea that everything, any system is conscious. So rocks
Yeah.
would have consciousness. And, if that's the case,
we got to stop eating rocks.
you got to stop eating everything. You can't eat anything. I also, just as far as food goes, in general, I don't like eating. I find it to be a waste of time, a waste of money. It really does annoy me that we even have to eat in the first place. and this maybe hit upon when we did our diets episode so many years ago, months ago. Now we're approaching 2 years, which I've stated several times on this episode for whatever reason. I just want people to know. I'm proud. We haven't missed a week.
Not once.
We just keep going.
We're good.
But in general, it's like I have to do this or I'll die. Thanks. And I have to spend money on this and waste my time on it. And it's just not something I would prefer to do. And, creates waste. And we're all walking around with wastes in our body at any given time. Anyone you see, there is poop inside of them.
Yeah, weird.
Right now.
And some people believe that that's like 20 years of, garbage that you ate because your body doesn't digest meat and it ferments in your body and that's why you have toxins. Shut the fuck up.
I don't know if there's some truth to that. Again, this is
There's
not
not any truth to that.
nothing's sitting in your body for 20 years. I'm not saying that.
Dead.
But there's antioxidants and things I'm not privy to speak to. I don't know.
Are you talking about free radicals?
Yeah, that.
Antioxidants are good.
Well, see, my point has been illustrated.
That's right. And you thought chicks were stomped.
Nothing is in your body for 20 years. They are. I saw this video. They were stomped. Maybe it was set up. Maybe there was a cut in there and there was no chicks in there. But in this video I saw.
Maybe they were on fire. They're putting them out.
Look, there's sick people out there. There's someone who would surely take some joy in that.
Yes, of course.
Here are the boy chicks. Let's take a magnifying glass and cook them. Burn them with which I have done to bugs before. They really start to
But you know
smoke.
what? Who cares? Because they're so small and stupid. And they're not as conscious as some other animal that I'm totally fine with eating.
I do think about that when I'm smashing a roach. Like I am taking a life.
I can't kill a bug.
Well, it's an intruder. That's the way I view
I
it.
capture it and I put it outside.
You're not capturing a roach. They're very fast.
Well, the big ones,
Yeah, the water bugs.
I can't handle those. Even though they don't do anything. They're just too big.
They need to be smashed.
And then in Florida, they fly. Ugh.
When it gets human enough, they fly.
And imagine, like you said, about them being so huge because of the Jurassic period.
Maybe it was the Triassic period.
I can't remember. I think it was the Jurassic, right? Because that was T-Rex.
I don't know if the T-Rex was Jurassic.
Really?
Everyone sees Jurassic Park and they think, yeah.
No, I know. I'm not trying to say because of that. Hold on. Jurassic period.
Would you eat a dinosaur? See a dinosaur.
Ooh.
That provides meat. Like the Flintstones. That was really funny on the Flintstones when they go and get that thing and it tips the car over because it's so... it's such a big slab of meat. When I was a kid, I wrote a story about being a dinosaur.
Cretaceous was T-Rex. Sorry. Go ahead.
There you go. See, he wasn't part of the Jurassic. Fool.
Sorry.
Who's the
I
fool
know.
now getting their facts wrong? Not me. Because
And they took all the boy T-Rexes and they put them in a bag and they stomp them to death.
Well, that's what you have to do because all they want to do is bang and procreate, and that's not what we need. We need eggs and meat.
Dinosaur poop. Think about the pee that came out of a huge dinosaur.
Well, if they were more like birds, it all just
it'd
comes
be the
out
same.
and just came out in a clump, all mixed together.
But it'd be so much.
Yeah, it just splashed all over the place. I was going to say, I wrote a story when I was a kid about being a dinosaur, and I was a plant-eating dinosaur. I always took favor to the plant-eating dinosaurs. Shut the hell up, Siren. Shut up.
I know. This episode is plagued.
There's no reason for this. Okay, yeah, we hear you. I always liked the plant-eating dinosaurs more than the meat-eating dinosaurs because I thought the meat-eating dinosaurs were mean. And in this story, a meat-eating dinosaur tried to kill me, but I hit it with my tail and knocked the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Knocked it over, broke some bones, and it left, and it never came back.
Nice. So even though it was more aggressive and stronger because of its meat-eating ways.
Well, I was bigger and stronger because I
You
was
were-
like a brontosaurus.
Yeah.
And I knocked that fuckface over.
When did the Brontosaurus live?
Well, the Brontosaurus was a dinosaur, then it wasn't a dinosaur, and then it's back as a dinosaur.
Quadrupod, sauropod dinosaur.
When did they live?
The Camergian, and the Tithonian, which are very well-known eras, of course.
What about the Wankel? You ever look up the Wankel?
No, what is a Wankel?
Oh, I don't know. I just looked up. It's a dinosaur fossil. Sorry. It's
Oh,
a fossil.
man.
I thought
It doesn't sound like the right kind of dinosaur.
it was a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but it was discovered by Kathy Wankel.
Kathy Wankel. Y'all, I found something over here.
Only 46% of it is complete.
I could only find about 46%. Kathy Wankel.
It is strange that animals have evolved to eat other animals. Like some eat the plants, and for whatever reason, I feel as though there are enough plants for all the animals. Why did some?
Or animals that don't eat meat, but then will eat their own young.
Who? Like what?
Hamsters.
Do hamsters eat their own? A rabbit did once. I had a friend whose rabbit had babies and ate them.
Yeah, hamsters will definitely do it.
What is that? Why do they do that?
I don't know. Do hamsters eat meat in the wild?
Rabbits don't. Why do
Yeah, all
rabbits?
How are they able to digest that if they're not meat eaters? Oh, it makes them not feel so great. But man, they did the right thing.
If
'cause
a,
it was in their
if a mother
biology.
rabbit is stressed or afraid, she may eat her litter. Sometimes
Yeah,
she's
because she
afraid
wants to protect it, probably.
she's afraid of predators and eats the babies to protect them. There you go. Stupid animal.
I'm gonna help you by killing you.
Sometimes she just eats the run of the litter because it's the weakest and least likely to
That's
survive.
true, and you don't want to. They don't want to waste their resources on feeding the runt.
The fact that this is
See, that's fucking cruel.
it's just
That's
built
the
in.
reality of nature,
It's-
and we are a part of nature, and so fucking deal with it. Sometimes a gassed bag of baby chicks gets stomped to death.
It's not necessary. Is the
Well,
point.
neither is protecting your young by eating them.
Well, if there are limited resources and you have to, yes, at that point you make some tough decisions because that's
Hey, I just watched Game of Thrones, and there was a thing where it was a father and his daughter, and they were starving to death, and they were found as skeletons much later because he killed her and then killed himself.
okay.
And instead of starving to death. So
All right, we'll end it there. The show fell apart at the end.
I think that you got to loosen up about our shows.
Because I care about the quality.
I feel like your standard for what is quality is different than maybe what the audience may expect, or even what I expect.
Because I want to put in a little more work, and then instead of just being two morons talking. Why are you doing a show? We just talk. We have thoughts.
Well, listen, we have a topic.
Thoughts.
Sometimes we talk about dinosaurs in the middle of an episode about eating meat.
But the dinosaurs, we were talking about meat-eating dinosaurs. There's at least
I'm just saying.
there's a red thread, as weak and unraveled as it may be. It was there, and it got us to that point.
If you like us rambling and just having a conversation, comment below.
Okay, you're done.
Wow.
Take us out. Wrap it up.
Thanks for listening to One Topic.
Just do a normal.
like-
Just try to do a normal outro.
Okay. Thank you for listening to One Topic. Like and subscribe, rate and review us. Check us out on Facebook and send us messages. We like that. You can support our sponsor, hoffandpepper.com. Use our code OneTopic15. Get some 15% off of some delicious locally made Hoff sauce in Chattanooga. And tune in next week for an episode where we talk about a topic, but then end up talking a little bit around it and then come. Hey, Greg,
Hey, Autumn.
do you like hot sauce?
You know, I do like hot sauce, but I'm getting pretty bored of my regular Texas Pete or Tabasco. I'm looking for a local sauce without any additives or extracts. A company that uses local peppers so it's as fresh as possible. And a company that really cares about the integrity of the sauce and where their ingredients come from.
Definitely.
And hey, while we're at it, I don't want a sauce with too many ingredients. You know, a lot of other sauces out there, they have all kinds of fillers. So I'd love to find a sauce with, I don't know, what? Let's say no more than 5 ingredients. I mean, it's crazy, but there's gotta be a company out there that hand processes their sauce. You know, bottling and labeling every bottle themselves. I'm probably asking a lot.
Well, you really are, but there is a hot sauce out there who only uses 5 ingredients,
What?
0 fillers, additives, or extracts, and who bottles, labels, and packages everything themselves. It's called Hoff Sauce.
What?
They're a small batch hot sauce company out of Chattanooga, Tennessee that's won Best Louisiana-style sauce in the country. How many times? Not once, not twice, 3 times.
3 times!
How does that sound, Greg?
I think that sounds amazing.
You know how you can get your own bottle of hot sauce?
No, tell me please now.
Hoffandpepper.com. And not only am I giving you the gift of the best hot sauce that you'll ever taste, I'm going to give you 15% off if you use the code ONETOPIC15.
Hold on, that's
Yes, get a pen and paper.
1 topic 15.
Good. That's ONETOPIC 15, all squished together at checkout. You'll get 15% off your order and your life will be better.
Thank you.
You're welcome.